just about identifying barriers, but also about offering actionable solutions. Key takeaways from this report will be instrumental in understanding how we can enhance gender diversity, improve recruitment policies, create flexible work environments, and most importantly, challenge the cultural and societal norms that limit women's potential. I urge everyone here to engage with the findings and consider how they can be applied in your own organizations to drive meaningful change. I am sure the panel will discuss in detail many of these issues. A lot of metrics were brought about by Dr. Vidya. I think she talked about the 30%, 99 million, 19 million, all metrics. I think it's very important to understand. And she mentioned about a lot of job creation. Many of the forums, in fact, we discussed with the government also. It's all about creating more jobs. And automatically, a lot of these things will get solved. In TCS also, when we talk about how we are going to do in the future, most important thing is to look at growth. And we say growth is the secret of our energy. When things grow, automatically everything will happen. So I think that is what we need to look at, how to make everything prosperous for us, ourselves, our organizations, and the country as well. Who said change happens naturally? Progress is not automatic, it is intention. Here I would like to say a few things. Normally in these forums I talk about 4 I's. I for intent. Whether there is an intent with the organization to do the right things. Right? Intent by the government to do the right things. Intent by the individual also to do the right things. Very important actually. All these 3 forces are being played. Whether intent in terms of recruitment, in terms of providing the learning and growing our environment in the organizations, the type of infrastructure and environment, whether it be, I think during COVID, a lot of online courses came into being, right? And what is the investment we need to make? The time, efforts. When we say investment, it is also very individual to learn and grow. It's also very the organizations to invest the time and efforts for the upliftment of the organization, and also by the government. And all 3 things are happening today. So things are much more possible than what it was earlier. And the 4th I is about integration. I think very important to ensure the disparities are not there and how they are integrated, how women are integrated in the organization. And this year's International Women's Day theme is Accelerate Action. It reminds us while women have made remarkable strides, many challenges persist. The reality is, despite decades of efforts, women still face barriers that slow down the growth in the workplace. Accelerate action, if that is a theme. Let action be an acronym. A, advocate for equity. C, cultivate inclusive leadership. T, transform workplace policies. I, invest in women's career growth. And O, open doors for representation. And N, normalize work-life integration. I am not calling it balance. Our chairman talks about work-life integration. With the mobile world, internet world, it's no longer that people are working from office only or working from home. They're also attending to personal things from office as well. So it's a mix, right? So work-life is not integrated. Whether we like it or not, the technology has made it happen that way. And we also enjoy it actually. Right? It has given us flexibility. So I think very important to understand, and I feel from a tech industry perspective, we have been fortunate because technology has enabled us. We learn a lot from the manufacturing industry early decades, but it's now also time for the manufacturing and other industries to look at what they can pick up on these policies and how things happen in the tech industry. Not that tech industry is perfect. Definitely there are always opportunities to improve. Similarly, the professional service industry, whether it's legal or the charter or the finance area, etc. I think these professions have shown a lot more for the women to have right career path. So end of the day, it's all about tripartite way of making things happen. From the individual perspective, the company perspective, as well as the government. In TCS, we follow a 5-pillar strategy to diversity, equity, and inclusion. I think end of the day, it's all about equity, right? More than diversity, inclusion. As long as things are equalized, things will happen. We believe in representation, ensuring all segments are represented. We believe in enablement. There are systems for equitable workplace. We believe in engagement, connecting and creating network for diverse communities, and creating a culture, creating a workplace environment where employees can interact with each other. And here I would like to just take a pause here in terms of, when we talk about culture, the interaction with each other is very, very key. We used to have challenges in many industries, including our industry, where people wanted to work from home, but it doesn't help them in the long run. They need to interact with their colleagues in the office. It helps them solve the problems faster. It helps them learn new things from each other. And so many things, right? And they also want to change. Sitting at home, working 9 hours continuously, I think is a thing. It's not a good. So we believe strongly, of course there could be a balance. There are people in TCS, I can quote that there are people, women who work for a very long time from home, pre-COVID. I'm not talking about post-COVID or during COVID. When there are genuine reasons, the supervisor and the HR teams decide what's best for the individual. So it is case by strategy and also type of role, etc. And the other thing is about development, building the right skills. I think women need to build the right skills. Especially, I would like to request all of you to think when sudden career break happens and people want to step in, there needs a lot of introspection on what you want to do and what what they can learn. And here organizations also have to step in, which is what companies like us do. How to ensure they have some learning opportunities before they come back and join us. Because technologies are changing today every day. And talk about advocate for equity. There are organizations who are committing to diversity, equity, inclusion. More women are reaching leadership positions today. We are creating systems which provide equitable workplace related to policies and infrastructure. But the persistent challenge is the gender pay gap still exists, and women are underrepresented in top decision-making roles. Pay gaps don't close on their own. Equity should be the foundation of hiring, promotions, and compensation structures. That is advocate for equity, right? And cultivate inclusive leadership. I think talking about non-conscious bias. All of you talked about. When you talk about inclusive leadership, progress in terms of more companies are focusing on this, building diverse leadership teams. And it is happening, but is it enough is always a question. But the persistent challenge is, women still hold only 10% of CEO positions globally, and unconscious biases impact career progression. I think Mani and Dr. Vidya talked about how things are happening at President, PM and CM levels. But it's not transparent. Companies like us, we ensure that we build right capability through leadership and role model connects, coaching and mentoring across all levels, whether it's junior, middle or senior levels. And it's not just about having women at the table, ensuring that voices influence decisions that shapes future. We have a lot of success stories at TCS. Some of them have gone into the TCS board, one of them, and another person has also stepped in as a chief operating officer in another cargo company as well. Not only within TCS, we are also moving across cargo companies. Transform workplace policies. I think we talked about. When flexible work policies and parental leave are becoming more and more common, the persistent challenge is women are more likely to experience career stagnation after maternity breaks, and many industries still penalize caregiving responsibilities. At TCS, we have Two things I think many of the IT industry is doing this, and many of the other companies also followed suit. We have something called re-begin for women to come back after taking a long break as well. And similarly, we have ethos, an initiative to enable, engage, and develop employees on the maternity continuum extending to the parenting journey. Parenthood, caregiving, or career breaks should not be the barriers to growth. The right policies create pathways, not dead ends. So here I would like to have some anecdotes. For example, when people come back to work, they ask for a lighter role. I mean, that's the wrong thing, and they think some role is better than what they were doing before. They say, can I go into HR? As if HR doesn't have work. Right? And in fact, after they go to that particular HR area, then they realize they have to work harder than ever. So people people think that the earlier role was tough and the other roles are thick. Similarly, some people said, no, can I do CSR? And when they do CSR, they have to go and meet the communities, the hot sun. They have to travel everywhere. And when they do that, after 3 months, they come back to us and say, was my earlier project was better. I was able to sit in an application office. So please, I think all of you please ensure that don't ask for a lighter role, because then you are actually coming down. You are belittling yourself. Never ever do that. You are competing and you want equity. So I think next about women career growth. Women are increasingly entering STEM, right? Finance as well as leadership roles. But the persistent challenge is women still receive less venture capital funding than men, and fewer women get assigned to high impact projects. Companies like us, we have leadership development programs for junior, we call it ISPAIR, we have middle level, IXL, senior levels, all to propel the journey towards personal and professional excellence. High impact roles and leadership opportunities should be assigned based on potential and not on past patterns. And opening doors of representation is key. There is growing representation in boardrooms and executive rooms, definitely it's improving, but it's a long way to go still. Over the past decade, women's representation has increased at every level of corporate management. Most notably, women today make up 29% of C-suite positions, compared to 17% in 2015. But progress has been much slower earlier in the pipeline, at the entry and manager levels. Persistent challenge. I think McKinsey and others talk about the broken trunk phenomenon. Means fewer women are promoted to first level leadership, limiting the pipeline to higher level positions. I think as an organization, we have seen at least 6% representation increasing at the leadership levels, middle and junior, and as well as senior. Talk about workplace integration. The progress has been made in mental health and well-being conversations are more visible today. The persistent challenge is women continue to handle a disproportionate share of unpaid domestic labor, leading to burnout and career drop-offs. And that's where we need to have a culture that supports balance and supports progress. On a lighter note, I'd like to say, all of you are aware of today's word, LLM and SLM. I thought I will coin something called WL. So all of you guessed it, right? Women's language model. And it's much more complex, much more comprehensive, and adaptive, intuitive, always evolving. And AI processes fast, but women process data faster. In fact, the retrieval of the data is very high. 20 years back, the husband would have had a fight. The women would remember everything. The men will be caught in a mess. Right? So I'm talking about the potential. AI may predict patterns, but women create patterns. I was also thinking, like a note again, can NVIDIA Blackwell RTX 50 series process faster than women? I don't think so, probably, right? And women multitask more than a parallel processor and perform tasks faster than NVIDIA chip. think Wi-Fi, all of you are connecting. Every time you connect to network, remember that the women's invention made it possible. The first computer programmer was Ada Lovelace, all of you know. The first bug was invented by women as well. So I think, end of the day, we are on the right track. But we need to, individuals need to invest, corporates need to invest, government needs to invest. The future looks bright and shining. It's up to us, men and women, to power the progress and shape the future of women. And women need to support women in the career growth as well. So most of the people I think today we have a conversation where many of the women who have succeeded had a lot of men mentors. Probably need more women mentors. Right? I think tech industry has taken some lead, but still a long way to go. But AI will help probably further, and we need to use AI for that. And the future is with us. And proud to be part of Tata Group, and which had less space with super successful women like Lady Mirabai Tata, who made the Child Marriage Restraint Act possible in India in early 1900, and Lady Nawaji Bai Tata, who was the first woman director on the board of Tata Sons. So I think this seminar is a call to action. It's a platform to exchange ideas, share solutions, and commit to creating workplaces that are inclusive and equitable. Let us ensure a future where every woman can lead, innovate, and thrive without limitations. I look forward to discussions and insights that will emerge from today's seminar. Let's continue this journey of powering progress and shaping a future where everyone, regardless of gender, can thrive. Thank you once again for this opportunity to be part of this important conversation.